Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create my Twilight Bloom bracelet. This is a 4-bar wide design. We're going to be doing a full length bracelet today, but if you don't have enough looms or bars to do that, you can make this little piece right here with just one set. I'll tell you how far down the loom to go, but it's really small. That's why I decided to do a full length version today. So I'm going to do this exact color scheme right here. You can see there's a couple different color schemes that you can do, but I'm going to give you the band breakdown for that one. So you will need 173 bands total. The breakdown is 28 of this light blue, 48 of the dark blue, 24 of the orange, 25 of this white, and 48 of the purple that sits inside and right there. So you also need one C-clip and your hook, and I will show you the loom setup. To make this bracelet, you do need to have at least 4 bars, and you're going to have them set up aligned. If you want a bigger bracelet, you're going to get another 4 bars, set them up right in front of that, where those long blue bases are. And I do have a video showing how to do this setup if you guys don't know how to do that. But I want a full-length bracelet today, which is why I'm using 2 loom setups. So the first thing that we are going to do is choose the color that sits in the center, which is this dark blue and this light blue. I alternate those 2 colors, and I actually start with the light blue first. But if you want all one color running right there, like this purple, just choose one color then. So we're going to grab our first one and lay it across the 2 pins in the middle for closing it. And then we're going to lay an X. We're just going to be working on the middle pins right now. So I laid my light blue, and now I'm going to grab my dark blue and lay an X. And we're just going to lay X's all the way down the middle. Like I said, if you don't want to have 2 colors in that middle, just use all one right now. So if you are using 2 loom sets like me, we're going to go all the way down the loom until you can't go any further, which means there'll be 25 X's. If you only have 1 set of 4 bars that you're using, you can only lay 11 X's. It's going to look like you can technically lay another one, but don't, because you won't be able to follow my tutorial exactly if you go all the way to the end. Our looms won't look the same. So I would recommend laying 11 if you're someone that needs to follow step by step with me. So just keep alternating these 2 colors, or just keep laying the color that you're laying until you reach the end of the loom for this loom set. And then I'll show you what we're going to do next. So as you can see, I ended all the way at the end of my loom. Just remember, if you're only using 1 set of 4 bars, you will have 1 empty space down there. So we're going to come back to the beginning, choose our next color. That's going to be this orange. We're going to be laying horizontal bands on the sides. So we're going to come to the 2nd row down and lay it on both sides. We're going to skip the row after that, so nothing on the 3rd row. Come up to the 4th, and we will lay it again. We're going to continue doing that same process on every other row. The only place you will not lay these is on the very last row. So once I have all of mine laid, I will show you what mine looks like. I will be ahead of you, but this is what it looks like at the end of the loom. You can see that I have 2 empty pins. If you're only using the 1 loom setup, you're technically going to have 3 empty pins since we left the last row empty. But as far as the bands go, it should look identical. You should have your horizontal and then 2 X's after that. No more horizontals after that. I did push them down some. We're going to come back to the beginning. And we're going to lay some bands in the center. And that's going to be these white ones. I'm going to stick with the white. And we are going to start on the 2nd row. And we're just going to lay a horizontal straight band in the center. And we will do this on every single row, including the very, very last pin at the end of the loom. So go ahead and get all of these laid, and then I will show you what mine looks like. Alright, so I have mine all done. You can see I did lay that on the last one. Don't forget to do that. Take a second and push those bands down. We're going to come back to the beginning. The band that we're going to lay first is going to be the blue that sits right here. I'm going to use that same color, and where this horizontal orange is, we're just going to lay a straight band. So we're starting on the second row down like that. Now for the color scheme I'm doing today, I like to match this band to whatever color my X is, and that gives the look of matching this band and this band. I just like how that looks. Here's another version of it. You can see the purples. But if you don't want to do that type of style, you can do it like how I have a completely different color here from the purple. I really like that style too, and this is easier to do, which is why I chose the harder version in case anyone wanted to do this. But the second color that we choose, I'm going to grab purple. We're going to lay it diagonally going inwards from where our blue ended. It will connect into the middle like that. And that is the purple band that sits in the middle. The side's a cat band, that's a different one. You see it in the middle here. So for this one, I used all white. So the straight band was white, and then the diagonal band was white. So that's the straight band, that's the diagonal band. I'm not trying to over-explain, I'm just trying to make it clear so everyone knows what to choose for whatever way you want it to look. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and come down to the next horizontal orange. That's where our next one will start. We will lay the straight blue, and then the diagonal purple. Come down to your next orange. Start with your straight blue, and then your diagonal purple. We will keep doing that all the way down the loom. So here's how mine looks at the end of the loom. Everything was exactly the same all the way down till you reach the end of your loom, or when you reach the end of where your bands are. If you just used one set, I did push mine down a little bit. So we're going to come back to the beginning. We have one more step to do, and this is my least favorite step. I am not a fan of triple cap bands, as some of you may know, but that's what we're going to lay right now. So we're going to be triple capping the centers of those bands that we just laid. So for the version we're doing today, I like to use whichever color I used for that middle band where my purple is, my diagonal purple. So I'm going to grab purple for my cap band. But you can also choose a completely different color, or if you're just using one whole color for that section, just grab whatever color you used for those bands. So we're going to come up to the third pin, or wherever your straight and diagonal band meets, and that's where our triple cap band will go. So you can use your hook, use your fingers, whatever you need to do to get them triple capped. So we're going to do the right side, do the same on the left side. Come up to the next one and we'll do the same thing. Just make sure you're capping the correct spot. You don't want to cap it right here where that horizontal band is. You need to be capping it where the straight and the diagonal band meets. So right here. It will be every other row. Here's where my last one is. We skip this one, come up to the next, and that's where my next one will go. So this does take a little bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and go off of camera and get all mine capped, and then I will show you mine when I am done. So hit the pause button until you guys are all caught up. I have all of my cap bands done. You can see where my last ones end. Just go through, make sure you didn't miss any. And then we're going to turn the loom around, facing ourselves. We're going to grab one more band. It's going to be whatever color your last X band is. So my last X is a light blue. So I'm going to grab one of those, and we're going to lay a regular cap band on the very first 2 pins. I wrap it around 1 pin twice, and then I use my hook to stretch the entire cap band over to the right, like so. So the first thing that we are going to do to start the looping is loop out all of the cap bands that we just laid on the sides. So I'm going to start on the left here, and then this cap band, you're going to move it out of the way, grab the first band, which is my purple, and this gets looped down because everything gets looped back to itself. At least right now it does. And then go back into that cap band, grab the only band that's left, and loop that straight. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. Go into the cap band, grab your purple, loop it down, and then go back in and loop your blue forward. So that section's done. Come up to the next one and do the same thing. Go into the cap band, loop your band down, go back in and loop it up. So like I said, this part, you're just looping everything back to its original self. It's very easy. I like to just get both the right and the left side done at the same time. If you find it tricky to loom down, because it is a little bit awkward trying to loom that band down, just turn your loom. It does make it easier. I did originally figure out how to make this bracelet be a full-length bracelet using the transfer type of extension method. And I was going to do that today. But for some reason, the bracelet comes out really wiggly. Like it has like a big wiggle in it right where we connect it. And I can't figure out why, because according to what I think, I had it perfect. I mean, I really studied it. All the bands look like they're in exactly the spot that they should be in. I don't know if it's the way the bracelet is stretched from doing the transfer, but I didn't like how it was coming out, so I ended up deciding not to do that. It was a little bit of a harder one too. We had to move a lot of bands around, and so hopefully this video will be good enough and a lot of people will be able to make it without needing that transfer. So this is what it looks like after it's all looped out. Go ahead and come back to the beginning. And we're going to now loop the horizontal oranges. So we'll be looping from the outside and looping them inwards. So this is where my first horizontal side oranges are. You're just going to go into that pin and loop it inwards. Do the same on the right side. This part's very easy. Skip the next row, come up to the next, locate your next orange horizontal side band, and just loop it into the center. Continue doing this until you reach the top of your loom. So there's the top of mine. Looks exactly the same as the rest of it. Come back to the beginning. You might want to push those down a little bit to give you a little bit more room. But we're now going to loop the horizontal whites. So these ones wrapping around the two middle pins. So we're going to start on the very first row down here. We have to move the top 3 layers. So I have a purple, a cap band, and a purple that I have to move. Once you push those 3 layers out of the way, you're grabbing the 4th band, which is my horizontal white. And you're just going to loop the left side forward, come to the right side, and do the same thing. We're technically looping 1 band 2 times. So the left side of it and the right side of it. We're going to do the same exact thing on this row, except there's nothing else holding it down except for the white band we just sat there. So you do want to do it carefully so that to ensure you don't pop it off. We're going to do the same thing on this one, but before we loop the white, we have to flip over the orange band. So it's the second band down. You're going to grab the back side of it and flip it over. Do the same thing on this side. It's the second band down, or you can clearly just grab it from right there and flip it. As I go, I do normally try to make sure that the band is straight, because you see how it's twisted right there? You will see that in the end result. But for some reason, my right side twists like every time. So I may not worry about it in the video, but I do normally like to try to make sure it's okay. After you flip the orange, then you'll go down and grab the white. So you just have to move the 2 top purples, grab the third band down, which is my white, and loop it up. Do it on the left and the right pin. Remember, this one only has the one band, so be careful when looping this one up. Every time you reach this section that has all of these bands on it, specifically the orange, we have to flip them over. So remember, just grabbing this back band right here, it's the second band down, flip it over, and flip it over. Continue looping your white up. Loop your white up again. Flip your orange. And loop your white. We will keep alternating these steps up the loom. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off camera and continue getting this looped up, and I'll meet you back here when I'm done. So this is what mine looks like after I've completed it. Don't forget to loop the very last white one to the top. I'm sure you won't, but I just want to point that out. So we're going to come back to the beginning now, and we're going to loop our center X's, but we will be alternating another step as we do that. So we're going to start down here at the very beginning. And we're going to be looping the X's straight, just like we did the white ones. So it doesn't matter if you start in the left or the right pin. I'm going to grab the left X baby blue, loop it forward, and do the same on the right one. So you're grabbing the very bottom band. After you loop that up, we need to flip the white bands over. So it's the second band down on these two pins. You can clearly see it by just looking at the top of the pin. So this is the part of the white band that we're grabbing right now. You're just going to pull it over the pin and sit it onto the inside like that. Do the same on the right side of it. Once you have it sitting down there in the middle, then we can continue looping our X. So we'll go down, grab the bottom band, and loop it forward. Do that on both pins. We're going to loop the X bands again. This row here has a lot of bands that you have to move, but you're still grabbing the very last band on that pin. So now that we are at the step where there's just the white and there's no other cluster of bands there, see how it's empty? We need to flip those white bands again. So it's the second band down, but I like to just reach behind the pin right here. It's the easiest place to grab it. Flip the band over and sit it in the center. Then we will loop our X's up. Loop your X's up again. There's a lot more you have to move on this row. Hopefully you can see okay. I did not realize how much this baby blue was going to blend with the white. We're going to grab the second band down, that white one, and flip it over. Continue with our X's. Loop the X again. So you're always looping up the X's 2 times and then flipping. We're at this step where there's nothing else on those pins, so we're going to flip the whites over. back to looping our X's. So that was one. I'll loop my X's a second time. And now we will flip the second band down, which is my white. We will keep alternating these steps up the loom. I lost my place for a second. Wasn't sure where I was at. So I'm at the top of my loom. I looped my last X band up. Do not flip the white on this last pin. So just leave it like that. All we have left to do is grab the very bottom horizontal blue, which is our closing band. You're just going to reach in each pin and bring both ends together and close it off. Of course, we're at the end of the video. My voice wants to crack now and go out. We're just going to go with it. Grab your C-clip and clip that together. And now I do highly recommend using your hook to release the side bands, because if you go just yanking it off, it does really distort it. So use your hook to release it, and then I will show you what mine looks like when I get it off of the loom. So when you take it off of the loom, it tends to want to curl like up backwards, but once you like stretch it out, it does help it a little bit. I do recommend stretching it just to help it lay a little bit better. You're just going to come down to the end and locate your cap band and C-clip. Clip both ends together, like so. You may have to grab the very last cap bands on the side of your center cap band and pull on it a little bit. Sometimes they get really like tucked up in there. But other than that, there is not a whole lot you have to do. I really love how this came out. But there is my completed Twilight Bloom bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're not already a subscriber on my channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my uploads. But I thank you guys for watching. That will be it for today. I will see you very soon at my next video. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye.